Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on the 28th of May. So let's have a look at what's going on within these markets. But before we do that, let's just look at what's potentially going to affect us today. Well, there's not a great deal actually. So here we are, Tuesday the 28th of May. We've already had the Australian retail sales out that came in slightly lower than expected. There's nothing else there really. Swiss National Bank, Jordan is spoken. And we've got the house price index there at 2 p.m. Consumer confidence in the US at 3. So really, I know this is tips quite high, but it doesn't really move too much at all. Memory says it's a relatively quiet week this week. We've got some flash data coming in there on inflation wise on Friday, but let's have a look at the markets then technically. So yesterday was the cat's away, the mice were play, and well, we've seen the move up yesterday, and it's pushing through this morning already. It's sort of high lows, high highs coming through here. We saw it on Friday turning, breaking through the pivot, which I was looking for the sell point. Nothing happened there. It just carried on pushing on through. So that was a goner yesterday. Well, a bit up and down, literally. Didn't come back and catch its pivot, but running into that R1, and that was that. Today we already hit the pivot, the R1, and almost into the R2. What's going to happen here then? Looking at the bigger time frames, we could, with the bigger trend that's kicking through here, and we've broken all we've broken this trend line here properly now, and running away from it. We're in this upward trend, so we should really be looking on the long side. So it's really looking for retracements to buy into, but I can't see anything obvious there right at this moment. The pound, similar Friday, it's bullish engulfing candle there overall, with a follow through yesterday, and we're pushing up at the moment. It's already into its weekly R1, hit the daily weekly pivot. Coming off at the moment, it's got most probably got divergence across the highs here. Looking at the price action, saying that they'd had divergence across the highs here. Looking at the price action yesterday, but it didn't stop it continuing. We'll see what maybe I get a bit more reaction through the markets today with more markets open. So we'll see what's happening. But the pivot looks like it could be on, but it's a bit of a scalpy trade. By the time if you did short it, by the time you put your stop above the high there, it's maybe less than a 1-to-1. US dollar yen, same old story on the US dollar yen. It's just slow and really not going anywhere too easily, so I'll leave that alone. The Australian dollar, I was looking at this on Friday. It's just see what it's doing. Never set my trigger off. That's for sure, and didn't do it yesterday when I wasn't around. But we've seen the bounce. It bounced on Friday. Yesterday started pushing up equally, and high lows, higher highs running through. So well, see how it does from here. Again, pivot could be a target later as we're going through these through the morning. We'll see how things shape up, but I don't really like going against the what is the trend there. Although the data wasn't good for the Australian dollar, it seems to have not done too much harm. Canadian dollar Friday turning, yesterday continuing. We're back to this key level, or near this key level again. It seems to be, or has been providing some sort of support, but well, look, if it gets back down to these prior lows there, it's got support in the form of the weekly S1, the 500 moving average coming underneath there as well to provide some support. Lower highs, lower lows, be quite nice actually if it ran towards its daily pivot today. That is up above. It is against its little short-term move here, but it's not so clear on the bigger time frame. New Zealand dollar. It's interesting. These commodity currencies as a whole I suppose most of them have done okay against the US dollar here. Friday switch carried on pushing through yesterday. It's taken out the highs here. Solid old movement, but it's through a low volume, low volume markets. London market, US markets not really trading, and off it went. So bank holidays aside, we'll see what happens again this morning. Again, potential pivot down here as a target. However, it is in much more an upward trend, so it may be worth waiting for it more as a support level as opposed to a target if it gets back that far. US dollar Swissy still chopping along here. Really, it's not providing much in the way of trades or setups, I should say. A setup would be nice. Euro yen continues to push to the upside here. Last week overall it really didn't set the world alight at all. I mean, it was pretty flat for most of it. It sort of ended. It looks better when you look at it on the dailies overall, but there wasn't a great deal of movement in this, and we're seeing similar again. It's just that sort of slightly better euro and flattish yen. So we see, could get a continuation through. No real setups I can see at the moment. It has broken out these highs here this morning. It sort of came up to made a triple top, retraced, and has broken out in the last couple of hours. So we'll see what reacts to that. It's already hit the pivot, but if there's an opportunity on the upside, there's some scope. Okay, euro pound. Really, this one was last week. It really came off, and even yesterday, selling through into these areas. These two green lines here are just areas of previous support and resistance, which have held up pretty well in the past, and they've held up that zone has held up. It's more of a zone than a specific points. We'll see some divergence across the lows here, and we might see the pound pulling back a little bit, but as I say, the euro pulling back a little bit. The pound's selling off a little bit this morning. Remember, this is euro pound. It could be the end of the little journey. We'll watch this in the coming days as well, because we could see another cycle to the upside there, but the pound has had its way up until now, and it's a solid old movement as the pound's been sold off at this stage. Okay, other pairs that I really like to keep an eye on is the likes of the euro CAD, but this has been a real slow old move there to the upside. Friday got into its R2. Yesterday reacted, continued reaction to that. But maybe if it can get back above its weekly pivot, this will be positive again. I've previously been waiting for a pullback, and this might be the pullback, so I will be putting an alert over the top. I've just put the alert over the top there. If it starts moving, I'll look for a bit more of a continuation. The stop is an easy one to work out. The target, obviously beyond those prior highs there now. So I'd look for more. We've got the monthly pivot, the R2, sort of holding the resistance line. But, actually we've got the whole week before we run into... This first is actually Saturday, isn't it? So we've got the whole of the week with still these pivots. Looking shorter term here, really it's reacting at the moment to the hourly 50 coming off a little bit. This on this time frame looks a bit weaker, bit of a mixed old bag there, but it has taken out. It has given us a lower high on the 4-hourly time frame. You can see it easy on here, but we'll see what happens. A break back above that pivot, I'm interested. Right, okay, that's pretty much it on the Forex side. Let's just have a look at the other markets, gold and oil and the indices. Quick look at those. So gold did its double top last week, or the week before now, isn't it? Monday 20th, it was last week. Beg your pardon, I forget it's 2 days in. We are already to bouncing a little, but not convincing here. Big bear flag setting up there, and it looks like it might be just breaking from that. So this could be the start of something a little bit more on a swing side than on the daily side. Oil managed to catch the bounce off its yearly pivot there on Friday, and it's holding up from that. Quarterly pivot is just back above its quarterly pivot. Not particularly well. It's lost one way, and is it going to start? And are we going to see something more to the upside here, or it could well just ride in between this small range, and we're nearly at the top of it? So it's a wait-see situation. From the swing side of things, day trading, I've just not been with it recently. S&Ps, Friday, did futures were open there for a bit of action, but slow move to the upside again. These sort of big corrections that we see, to obviously, as I say, the bulls run up the stair or climb up the stairs, the bears jump out the window. They certainly did there, didn't they? At the moment we're back on the stairs though. It's off overall though. Dow not liking the case. DAX looking better this morning, and overall it's held up there a little bit better. Last week wasn't good for it, lower highs coming through, but already this week futures are up there, although it's already into its R1. Well, it hasn't hit the pivot. We could see that even run back into the upwards to the R2. Have got some key resistance above in terms of the pivots. We're already into its yearly R1. We've already passed that, and we're not far off of the yearly R2. That could come into play a little bit more, just above there. Okay, the FTSE's sliding back. Futures not really doing too much there. Not kicking around so much. So this wasn't open. The futures here weren't open at all yesterday. We've seen that gap filled. Look, craftily gap filled that gap yesterday. You turn your back. Anyway, yeah, maybe it's got more of a bounce to come. We'll see what the other market's doing. But lower highs, lower lows. It just looks weak. This intermediate time frame looks weak. Right, I shall leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading. May still be a bit quieter. It's school holidays in the UK, so it's a bank holidays, half terms even. That's what it is. Bank holiday yesterday, half term for the rest of the week. So it could be a bit quieter in terms of volume, but we'll see. Right, take care. Catch you later. There we go.